let's install the dust collector. But first, a small update from the previous video. After that quick flurry of activity, we'll get on to the subject of this video, which is installing the new dust collector. But I just wanted to show you, as I promised, that I would finish this to the point where I could just show it off a little bit. So basically, all my dust hardware is in here. I can get in, pull the buckets out whenever I need to get something. Everything's labeled number 6, number 8, number 10, number 12 screws, miscellaneous hardware. We used to call those 20-year drawers in the Navy. Jigs and fixtures, mollies, sheet metal screws, number 12s, pocket hole, antique nails, Clecos, deck and hardware screws, all that stuff. There's a couple of spares down here. They're going to don't need to be in these big ones. They're going to get transferred into the little ones, and they'll be over here. So I didn't put pulls in at the bottom or glides in at the bottom. Those can be just shelves for miscellaneous stuff. What's going on here is all these bits and pieces are going to be on shelves. I'm going to run the first set of French cleats up this way and build some shelves that'll sit on those French cleats where I can put this miscellaneous stuff. It's not much. And these are all nails for my electric nailers, pinners and whatever. And these are actually going to go on the far wall with their tool instead of sitting over here. This is just all kinds of miscellaneous small hardware, machine screws, brass nails and stuff. So this will get all done with the cleats, and then this will probably stay here. Maybe I'll do it like this. This is also some miscellaneous hardware drawers, and I may get one of these to put most of this stuff in there. But now on to the subject of this video. Let's install that freaking new dust collector. This is where it's going to go. I pointed out in previous video, yeah, I know, between the doors, it's going to fit very nicely. I've already got a piece of 3/4 inch good ply up here. It's held in with some number 10 screws. I'm going to put lags in. The motor's kind of heavy, so I'm going to put some lags here and here and here. And when I put the mount in, I'll bolt the mount in with through bolts. Grizzly instructions are a little confusing because his minimum height should be 80-something inches, and the next drawing over it should be 76, 74 inches. Well, it's 69 inches from the bottom of the bag when it's on the filter to the mounting point. I want the bag touching the floor while it's running and while it's on, because nothing's more fun than taking a bag off here and having it maybe fall down, maybe slip out of your hands, and you get sawdust everywhere. If the bag is touching the floor, resting on the floor when it's full, you unstrap it, move it out, and you're done. So that's what I'm going to do. But the first thing I do, I want to take this down, drill and mount the French cleat. Yes, this blower motor mounts with a French cleat, and then lag it into the studs here and here. Here's the blower. 6-inch inlet, 6-inch outlet down into the filter. It mounts with a French cleat. You can't see it in the camera, I don't think. It's got a little S to it. This is actually a metal French cleat. It's notched so the motor can't slip side to side, and then slip side to side. And when you tip the motor down, I don't know if you can see it in camera, but there's a hook catch on this piece of mounting hardware right here that's mounted to it's welded to the blower motor, and it's got a bolted in bracket here for the motor to mount to. So it basically, this goes on the wall, and this hooks in like that. So I got to take that down, do the measurements, take that down, drill and mount the French cleat, and then mount the canister, the filter, and the bag. Like I said, I want the bag touching the ground. If it's not quite touching the floor, I'll put a little platform under it. This is between, like I said, it's between the doors, and nothing interferes with the doors going up and down. So I can open both doors again. I took it down, the plywood, and mounted the bracket. It needed to be biased off to my right a little bit because the blower is here, but the mount is on the motor actually, because that's where all the weight is, of course. And I got it fastened back into the studs with 2-inch lags, and these are 5/16 hex bolts with washers in front and back. This one's a little off, and this one's a little off because I put it up temporarily with some screws so I can get it leveled, and then I came back and put the lags in. So now I have to have that motor, I think it's 45 pounds, up and put it in place here. This should be interesting. That wasn't so bad. Oops, sorry for the bangs. That wasn't so bad. Now I got to attach the filter in a bag. This is going to come up and over. I'm going to reconnect to the old dust collection system. Now this is all going to get redone because it's not very efficient. It's got the wrong connectors and stuff like that. I use the wrong kind of foil tape. What you want to use, if you're going to use foil tape, is use the mastic foil tape that has the gooey, rubbery, sticky stuff. And when that seals up, it bonds to it. And it's like mastic. It seals up the joint completely. So let's get the rest of this connected and see how it looks. There we go. Got to put a bag on it. One of the disappointing things was that the lower lip where you connect the bag to is actually plastic, whereas in my old dust collector the entire rim around where you put the bag is metal. And that made it a little easier to put the bags on because I use these little rare earth magnets with knobs on them to hold the bag in place while I was putting the strap on. Well, so we're back to using duct tape. Or blue tape, whatever. So that's holding it very well. Let me show you something a little funny. Back here on the mount, you'll note there's these little 1/4 screw holes here. You're supposed to, I guess, put a screw in from the back to hold it again in place. This thing weighs 40 pounds, like I said, so I don't see the need for that. I mean, this isn't going anywhere. So, but there we are. It is where I want it to be. I might put a brace in across here just because it wobbles a little bit. But let's put a bag on. Turns out using tape or magnets is not an issue because the bags are a friction fit around the seal lip of the bottom of the filter. Basically, you got to stretch it a little bit to get it on there, but it stays in place. Then you put the strap clamp in place, and that holds everything together. So we're ready to go. Now I've got it plugged in. I have the remote that came with it. It works. A little bit louder than you expect because the intake is open. So next thing for me to do, what I'll do off camera, is I'll plumb our existing system into this one temporarily because this is all going to get redone as we do more improvements in the shop. So until then, make great things out of wood.